He wasn't born in Poland.
My long-term goal was always to join the Polish army.
But why would a British man fight for another country?
The idea of national service in the UK is like, why bother, you know? Shit hits differently in Poland.
At what point does the country stop being where you live and start being something you would defend?
If you read the Polish constitution, Article 85 says that every single Polish man and woman must stand w obronie ojczyzny, like you must fight.
Why do you feel so passionate about serving Poland?
Poland was betrayed, unfortunately, by the UK and France during World War II. It was given no help. Poland's going to become the biggest army in Europe.
So hey guys, I'm sitting with the guy today who is born abroad, but who's gonna serve in the Polish army.
Yeah, hi guys, my name's Patrick Ney. I'm originally from the UK, but I was granted Polish citizenship by the Polish president in 2020, and I'm realizing my lifelong dream, I guess my 15-year dream, to join the Polish army. I'll be joining the Polish Wojsko Obrony Terytorialnej, so the Polish territorial army, but I will be a Polish soldier.
But to be honest, you didn't have to go into the Polish army. Like, what are your real motivations behind it? Like, why do you feel so passionate about serving Poland?
If you know Polish history, then you know that this nation is never safe unless it can stand on its own 2 feet. Poland was betrayed, unfortunately, by the UK and France during World War II. It was given no help. It was betrayed in 1945 by its allies, including the US. By the way, you probably don't know this, but Poland was trying to stop the Holocaust. For years, the Polish resistance were trying to tell the world, hey, you need to bomb Auschwitz, you need to stop the Holocaust, and they were ignored. So this country has been ignored and betrayed for years. And sitting as it does between 2 great empires, Germany and Russia, anyone who understands Polish history knows that this country is never safe unless it is economically and militarily powerful. It's economically powerful. Now it needs to be militarily powerful. And as a new Polish citizen, I know I have to live up to the promise that I made to serve this nation. I feel deeply grateful for having this Polish citizenship. It's not something I'm getting for bureaucracy reasons or so I can buy property and not have a problem. And I feel I have to justify to other Poles that I was worth getting this beautiful honor, which is Polish citizenship.
You are not just holding a passport, but you hold the responsibility of the people who live here.
Yeah, and so, for example, if you read the Polish constitution, Article 85 says that every single Polish man and woman between the ages of 18, I think 65, must stand w obronie ojczyzny. You know, like you must fight. So when I got Polish citizenship, when the president granted me Polish citizenship, I suddenly felt this heavy weight, which is, whoa, if we go to war, I'm going to be a part of that. Well, I want to go on my own terms. And so I went to the army office and I'm like, hey, I've become a citizen. Do you need to give me the little book, the książeczka? And they're like, no, what the hell are you doing here? So I eventually had to then apply to join the territorial army. So that's also different because there's the Wojsko Polskie, it's the normal Polish army, and then there's the WOT, which is the territorial army, which any Polish citizen can join. Really, it's about loving this country and wanting to be a part of defending it. It's really important for me.
What are the requirements to join a Polish army?
First of all, you have to be a Polish citizen. So I always wanted to join WOT, but I couldn't because I was a British person living in Poland. And of course, you need to be healthy. I got category A, my man. Yeah, I got category A. And of course, you need to be a certain age. So I think it's 18 to something like 50-ish, I think. Don't quote me on that, but it's something around there. And no criminal record.
Yeah, no criminal record, for sure, because you could be a spy.
I'm touching wood right now, but so far, no criminal record.
Has there been a foreigner who has been born abroad, became a naturalized citizen, and then joined the army?
Short answer is no. It looks like I might be the first person ever to become a naturalized Polish citizen much later on in their life and then actually join the army. There's a few Poles with joint citizenship, something like 0.1% of the Polish army. But I've did a bit of research, asked a few people, and I think I'm probably the first.
That is a great tag to have.
Yeah, although on the other hand, I love history, so I do know that there were many, many foreigners who served in the Polish army, for example, during World War II, during the Warsaw Uprising, including British people, for example, Ron Jeffries. I really recommend his book about serving in the Polish army during World War II. He escaped from a prisoner of war camp and joined the Armii Krajowa, the Polish Home Army. He learned Polish like I did. He fell in love with a Polish woman like I did. So Ron Jeffries is my inspiration. But yeah, as far as I know, I'm the first British person who's become a Polish citizen and is now going to be joining the Polish army.
Apart from other people in the past who's been non-Polish, who's helped or worked for the Polish army, there's been an animal that I know, Wojtek the bear.
Yeah, Wojtek the bear is this insane story. So during World War II, they had this bear, I think it was in Iran, and he ended up becoming an ammunition carrier for the Polish army. Absolutely loved Poles. They give him beer. And there's a book, by the way, I highly recommend by Eileen Orr on the subject of Wojtek the bear. And he eventually ended up, like so many Poles, not in Poland, the country he loved and the language he loved and the people he loved, but in Edinburgh, where he joined the zoo, and there's a statue to Wojtek the bear. So really amazing story.
Wojtek the bear. Salute.
Yeah, big respect.
So what are your goals for the Wojsko Obrony Terytorialnej, correct?
Yeah, that's right. The Polish Territorial Army is a relatively new creation, and it's designed for people like me who are basically civilians to be able to do some form of soldiery training. So the first step is your psychological exam, your physical exam, which I've passed. It's the first time a doctor has held my testicles and cupped them in his hand, and made me cough. I'm like, wow, this is never happened
covering
before.
myself.
It's just like in the films. We can practice that later on. Then there's a 16-day training. On the last day, I invite you, Aman. There'll be the ceremony. If I make it through, of course, because, I have to actually make it through, but something tells me I will. Then you have to swear the allegiance, and you say, Ja żołnierz Wojska Polskiego. Then you swear to defend the nation to your dying day, to die for your nation. And that's like, I've never made an oath. So... even now, as I say it now, I'm getting emotional, right? I'm getting tears in my eyes.
We're also standing in a very emotional place.
We are.
Back.
We are. I mean, what we're standing on here is the remains of people, their houses. During the Warsaw Uprising, Warsaw was rebuilt, and here at the Powstanie, they dumped basically all the rubble. So we are literally sitting on the graves of people, their homes, their dreams, their children, their lives, their futures, all stolen from them, are left here. But as we can see behind us, it's a very beautiful memorial. Like, no one does memorials to their nation's suffering better than Poland.
Absolutely. Even museums, memorials, Polish people go very far to remember their history. You also have the Warsaw Uprising Day. You have a lot of more examples.
But I've got to tell everybody as well, like, if you start to learn military stuff, it's not just shooty, it's also teamwork. You also become more confident. You learn a whole bunch of skills which can help you in civilian life as well. The biggest thing for me has been medical stuff. I'm a qualified combat lifesaver, TC3 combat lifesaver, and hopefully I'll become a combat medic next year. Inshallah, touch wood. That's a skill which you can use every single day. I've already helped people like multiple car accidents and things like that as a result of that skill.
Yeah, I need to learn CPR, man. When I see people doing CPR, I feel so useless. I'm like, I need to we have to start that first.
I've been that guy. So every responsible citizen should have a basic degree of first aid.
Forget citizen, even a resident, even anyone. Like, I am not a citizen, but I feel like I have the responsibility to help Polish people around me. I just think that's a basic human help, because I feel Polish people are my brothers.
Yeah.
So I feel like anyone who needs help, if I'm standing there, I don't want to just record. I want to go and actually help people. So CPR is a life skill for anyone.
CPR is a necessary one. Yeah, for sure.
And do you think the Polish government is investing way more in its military right now?
Polish government has made it pretty clear, both governments so far in the recent past, are trying to rebuild the Polish army. I think they probably built quite a lot of tanks and bought things like that. I'd much rather they invested in drones and anti-drone defense. Yeah, so the Polish government is hugely investing in its army. I mean, basically Poland's going to become the biggest army in Europe, certainly one of the largest in terms of land forces. And we know one thing, which is freedom isn't free. You have to fight for it. You have to earn it. You certainly have to be strong enough to defend it.
What can Poland do to be safe for the next 100 years?
I think Poland should become a leader. I think Poland should be a leader of Europe, and Poland should be a leader of the world. In the spiritual, moral realm, I believe Poland has a chance to stand up and say which values are necessary for the future. In the geopolitical world, I believe Poland is just the anchor in European security. We should no longer bow to the French. We should no longer kneel at the foot of the Germans. We should no longer look to the UK to teach us what to do. We have the chance to be the leaders economically, morally, spiritually, physically of this entire continent. Not in the spirit of domination, but in the spirit of open cooperation. And the way we do that is by projecting power on every single level. As Churchill, not maybe the most popular person amongst Poles, said, in victory, magnanimity. Well, we need to win, basically. And to do that, we need to be strong in every single field.
Definition of patriotism isn't just about war. It's about helping other people, being ready to step in your local community. You see someone sick on the street, you see a child or an elderly person needing help, and you move towards it and not away. That's the kind of patriotism that I want to have inside me.